What's up, everyone? Today, we're going to be covering the reverse Delahiva guard. So I'm going to first explain what the reverse Delahiva is. It is the reverse of Delahiva guard, which we just covered. Yeah, crazy. It's like Delahiva guard, but in reverse. It's kind of fallen out of style, and for a good reason. It is pretty difficult to maintain this guard as a guard that you're trying to not get past. You have to immediately go into sweeps and attacks to make it really viable. If you're just chilling there, it's kind of putting yourself in a bad spot because most people want to try and pass from reverse Delahiva because it's one of the weakest guards, or not weakest I should say, but the most easily penetrable by different passing techniques. Go ahead and stand up for me, Miha. But facing the camera this way, I'm gonna go in front of you here. So how it works is Delahiva looks like this. Reverse Delahiva is just this way. So you're using your foot to hook around his thigh here like this. And now it doesn't really work if he is standing straight up, that my leg just falls off. It only really works when he pressures into me like this. And maybe you can see here how that pressure kind of like winds up my leg and locks it into the place. And this is where people try and get to from this position. But it's tricky because he's kind of knee cutting you already. So it's like, who's really in control here? Am I in control because I have the Delahiva hook, or is he in control because he has a knee cut pressure? It's not a bad position, but you can't just chill here. So I definitely want to be using my hands immediately. I like to go right to the ankle right away and put my foot on the ribs to try to extend away if I'm going to be in this position. Putting the foot at the shoulder or the ribs is pretty much a necessity for reverse Delahiva, because if I don't do that and he grabs my pants, starts pushing them down this way, you can see how this might end badly for me. So usually you want to use a reverse Delahiva hook coupled with a secondary grip, like maybe a spider hook or a lasso here, or even just a collar grip, something to keep them away and at bay and not just committed only to the leg grip like this. So this is the position here. My main goal, like the main attack from reverse Delahiva, is to be spinning underneath people. Like you have a little bit of rotational power here. You can kind of spin through underneath people. And that's where the main power from this move comes from. There's not too many other attacks from here that are really viable. But spinning under, it's called the Kiss of the Dragon. We'll go into that in a little more detail. But you can see it's kind of tricky to play. So if you're going to play reverse Delahiva, you really need to make sure that they are not putting pressure into you. And if they are, you're doing everything in your power to clear that with foot pressure and stiff arms with your hands, so you can actually see the opportunity to spin underneath here while controlling the ankle, okay? Now, from a top position, I'll explain why it's kind of funky to maintain, is if I know that his primary goal is to spin underneath me, I can just grab this collar. And with this hand here, even if he extends me away and he tries to spin underneath, as long as I keep this arm straight, it's pretty difficult for him to rotate underneath. So this is the situation that people fall into a lot, where they kind of just get stuck in the bottom reverse Delahiva. So you can't just hang out here. It becomes more of like a transitioning thing. Like if he has me in Delahiva and I kind of like clear the Delahiva and come here, he might put reverse Delahiva on just for a moment to try and extend me away before recovering to a different position. That's usually how you're going to be using this now. It's in no-gi, you can get away with it as like an actual have it be part of your game where you play reverse Delahiva regularly, but it's still pretty tricky. So that's how the reverse Delahiva functions, and I'm going to go into some of the primary sweeps from there next.